Hey Freak Show, how you doing? November is a usual very big month for video games. Due to this whole world pandemic type thing, there's been a lot of pushback on delaying stuff and all that sort of stuff. Today I'm going to give you my top 5 games that I'm excited for in November. Unfortunately, 2 of them that I were super excited about have been pushed back, but we'll get into it right after the branding. All right, guys, I'm just going to give you my top 5. I would love for you guys to tell me down below what you're excited for coming up in the month of November. Obviously, we have the new Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 coming out, so a super fun time for the world of gaming, even with all the whole hubbub of what's going on with the presidential election for the United States. But we're not here to talk about that. We're going into the top 5. My number 5, I'm going to go from 5 to 1 on this. My number 5 that I was excited for, which seems to have been delayed a little bit, was Destruction All-Stars. Destruction All-Stars looks like a very fun game, multiplayer, more of like a knock-around, play with friends party game, in which you have a destruction derby. You have all these, all of your characters and cars try to hit each other. I know that there's a couple of other games that have done this before. I don't know their names off the top of my head, but I've seen a couple of people playing them. And basically, it's a king of the hill situation where you keep running your car into other people's cars. The part that I see that's very interesting about this one is apparently a driver can get out of their car, like if it gets wrecked or disabled or something like that. I'm just very excited to see what they come through with this, what they actually play with it. So I was very excited to try and play it, maybe play with the community on weekends and that sort of stuff. It won't be a main game, but it was definitely something that I was looking forward to. And that's going to be a PS5 exclusive from what I understand. So if you don't have a PlayStation, you're kind of out of luck on that one. But that one's being moved on. And so I'll move on here to number 4. Number 4 that I had on my list was Cyberpunk 2077. I have personally stayed away from the hubbub of trying of their like, what do they call it, the ghost wire or lime wire, I don't know what they're actually calling it, some sort of wire in which they're detailing a bunch of parts of the game. I have personally tried to stay away from that just because I would like to develop the game on its own and be able to understand things as they come instead of understanding the entire game before it's even released. This was supposed to be released back in April, and then it got moved to June or midsummer or something like that, and then it got moved to fall, and now it's all the way, or then it got moved to November, and then now it's been moved back again to December. And by golly, if this isn't the best game that's ever been created, then I am going to be very disappointed in CD Projekt Red. But I am excited to see what the gameplay holds. I would love to see the storyline. I will be playing it on stream if you want to come by and watch when it comes out. And I'll be playing, I think I want to play through the story straight through and then determine whether I like the gameplay on which I would continue playing it or not. But it seemed like a very cool idea as far as, you know, the mixing of like a cyborg along with human type stuff. And then you got Keanu Reeves in there too. So very excited for that and seeing where it comes through and everything. But now we get into the top 3, and this is where the games are actually supposed to release and actually supposed to happen. My number 3 on my top 5 is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. This game was first talked about maybe back in like June or May or something along the lines of way back when, and it died down a lot as far as publicity, as far as any kind of ads or anything that was put out. And so it actually threw way back in the back of my mind that I didn't even think about it for a really long time. But when I saw that it was releasing on the 10th of November, I got super excited. We're literally a week away, and it's very exciting for me, just because I like the idea of the Nordic religion. So with Assassin's Creed, I really think the golden era of Assassin's Creed was like Assassin's Creed 2 with the Ezio storyline, and going through what were those other ones, like Brotherhood and the like of those 2 or 3 that were in the middle there. And then Assassin's Creed 3, I felt like was kind of a downfall or a downward trend. And then I feel like it was a money grab kind of moving into Assassin's Creed 4 and then like Origins, and a couple of those were very, very rough. Now, I have heard a very good uptick with Odyssey. Assassin's Creed Odyssey had a really good one. So with it being a Nordic religion, which is always very interesting to me, just thinking of, Thor and all of those different Nordic type ideas, kind of how God of War played into the Nordic type stuff way back when. The same way I feel like Assassin's Creed could do a pretty good justice with the Nordic religion, and it could be very, very fun. The little preview that you're seeing a couple of times here has got me really hyped. It's super, super great. And so I'm excited for it. I would love to see where it goes. So I'll be playing that as well. As you can tell, most of these are kind of like single player story type ideals. But anyway, moving on to my number 2, again, single player story. PS5 exclusive on this one is Spider-Man Miles Morales. Supposed to be coming out with the PS5, and should be a very, very, very well done game. I absolutely loved Marvel's Spider-Man, in which Peter Parker, flew around the city and everything, and then we got introduced to Miles Morales in that game, and I am excited. I am very, 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 very excited for the Spider-Man game. I loved what they did with the first one, and this coming back like a year and a half later to grab this next tale as far as having Miles Morales should be really, really good. So I'm really excited for that. Fly around like Spider-Man, make you feel like Spider-Man, just trying to take off an IGN play here. It makes you feel like Spider-Man. I'm really excited to return back into that world. So that's one that I'm definitely looking forward to and want to play out entirely, again, on stream. We will do a playthrough and have some playthroughs of these different games here on the channel of YouTube. I will procure all of the different episodes together and drop them all at once on like a Saturday. That is my plan on what's going to be happening while still giving you this type of content throughout the week. But anyway, that's number 2. And now for my most anticipated game, the one that I am looking forward to immensely, which I have a few, not revisions, but a holdback on it is Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Now, this game has been sped up in production. There's a couple of things that seem like it's going to have a kind of a downfall on, as far as the falling out of Sledgehammer and Raven Studio for a title that was supposed to come before this one. You have about a year of production that just got bumped up in the timeline, which is very unfortunate for Treyarch, but I do believe that it's going to be a fun game. I liked the beta. I enjoyed the beta. I enjoyed the alpha. I felt like it was pretty good. I didn't have to worry about jetpacks and that sort of crap. I didn't have to worry about so guns didn't sound that great. Graphics didn't look that polished. I do feel like the storyline that they're going to present with Cold War is going to be hella hype and super, super good. And I will be playing that again on the stream. But anyway, I don't think that it's going to be the big flop that everybody thinks it's going to be. Yes, there's SBMM. A lot of people hate that. I kind of hate that. But at the same time, I can understand why SBMM is in there. I've had videos on this before. But I'm more or less excited for a new grind to get a Damascus or Dark Matter in this case. So restarting that grind, getting through those camos, I feel like is going to be super fun. And so I'm anticipating a very, very good game that I will enjoy. Along with that, they bring in zombies again for Treyarch Zombies. They are doing a different storyline. It kind of messed with me because Black Ops 4 started to introduce a new storyline, in which you had a group of people inside of the 9 arena or whatever, and then they had these they had this playthrough of people getting possessed. Like Bruno, I think, getting possessed at one point with these gold cloaked hooded people. And I don't remember anything being concluded with that. This was a long time ago. It was 2 years or whatever. And so I haven't really been able to refocus on that in general. But it seems like they're like, oh, we're just gonna not necessarily throw it all away, but we're gonna move on with a new storyline that we are developing. Maybe it wasn't well received. Maybe people didn't really enjoy what was going on. I will say that the Easter egg seemed like a lot of waiting when we were doing the Easter egg. And that's just more or less how they developed it. Basically, you had to get something, and then you had to put it down and wait 3 rounds, and then you had to get something else and put it down and wait 3 rounds, instead of being able to constantly progress the story at your own pace by doing different things, such as like soul boxing or whatever it was, find this certain piece and then be able to move forward to the next piece, being able to do it within, 10 rounds instead of having to wait till round 21 to try and do it. Seemed like they were just expanding the Easter eggs for the sake of expanding the Easter eggs. But all of that aside, they have shifted a bunch of stuff inside of zombies anyway, and it will be interesting to see how it plays out as far as kill streaks, as far as bringing in your own weapon, upgrading those weapons throughout the play. I feel like they're trying to introduce zombies into a new crowd that wouldn't necessarily understand how to go from a pistol to a weapon wall buy, into the box, into pack a punch, all that sort of stuff. Instead of that traditional storyline, what we're going to do is we're going to give you an AR so that you feel like you're powerful at the beginning, and then we're going to move you into trying to upgrade that within the game. So we'll see how it all plays out. Not really sure on what I totally think on that. I think you're breaking a lot of the traditional zombie players, but I feel like they'll make it fun enough to where it will be enjoyable to play. But anyway, those are my top 5 games that were coming out. And there are a couple others that are maybe, honorable mention type thing. I haven't really thought about them in general. It's very unfortunate that Destruction All-Stars has moved back to February, and it is very unfortunate that Cyberpunk 2077 isn't coming out till December. But we do have 3 pretty good games that I'm excited for coming up, and I will, like I said, be playing them in perpetuity on the stream. So, if you would, think about hitting the like button for the video if you made it to this part. Think about hitting the sub button. Tell me what you think down below in the comments. What are you excited for? What are you not excited for? Do you have thoughts on different, the Call of Duty game? Do you have thoughts on Spider-Man? Do you have thoughts on Assassin's Creed? I would love to know what you guys think. I'll be in the comments for a while and try to respond to every single one. Have a wonderful day. I will catch you guys in the next video. Deuces.